All right, guys, welcome back to season 2 of the Tactical Business Coach. Today, the mission is simple. We're going to operate like a micro team and produce like a company 10 times your size. Here's the SITREP. 2026 is going to be the lean operator year. The economy's shifting and the attention is fractured, and small teams are outperforming those big bloated bastards. Why? Because we can move faster, decide quicker, and execute without all that bureaucracy. We can do it all ourselves now. But here's the challenge. Most solo founders and micro teams, they're drowning in tasks. They're reacting instead of leading, and they're confusing motion with progress. They're busy, man, but they're not being as effective as they can. They're working hard, but not working tactically. Today, we're gonna break that cycle. We're going to show you how to lead like a micro team with clear priorities, tight communication, and ruthless focus, while also maintaining high output execution. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to run your business like a disciplined, high-performing unit. Now, even if that unit is just you and a laptop. Let's get into it. Maximum effectiveness with micro teams. Oh yeah, micro teams.
Yes.
So this is supposed to be the year of the micro team, the solopreneur, the single founders, or whatever you want to call them. We are going to fucking take this year by the horns, because we don't need an entire crew anymore. People are doing it with just one person, one laptop, and they're getting it done. But they're not as effective as they possibly could be. Do you know why?
Why, Rex?
No, I'm asking you.
Well, first I want to point out that as a solo entrepreneur, you are a micro team. A lot of people, I think, don't want to make that association, but the reality is, if you're a solo entrepreneur, you're a one-person team, you are doing all the things. And just because you're doing all the things and you're getting them done does not mean that you're being efficient. If you're burning the wick at both ends, how efficient are you actually being?
Yes, because you're borrowing time for tomorrow, man. You're going to be less effective tomorrow if you're burning that both today, right? That's all we're doing, is we're either investing for ourselves tomorrow or we're wasting our time for tomorrow. Ooh, that's good. I just made that up.
Yeah.
Ooh, fuck yeah, dude. We're talking about the overwhelmed solo founder. Okay, so
yes,
you find yourself, right? You've started a business, or you're thinking about this is even better for people that are preparing to start their business, because I love more than anything when you prepare for something and then do it. Preparing and then implement. There's people that get stuck in the preparation mode, right? Analysis paralysis, and they're like, I don't want to. And then there's people that just do, and then they just don't know how to correct, and then they just kind of fuck up, and they just continue fucking up, and they have no idea what they're doing. There's a balance. There's a nice balance for us. Yes. We're wanting to either help you prepare before you start, or you've already started that solo founder and you found yourself a little bit more overwhelmed. Because this is a real scenario we see constantly, right? The solo founder, there's juggling marketing, fulfillment, admin, sales, content, strategy. They're working too much, right? They're overworking. Like you said, they're burning the midnight oil, and they still feel behind. They feel like they're behind because they're reacting instead of preparing and driving that mission. So the problem, it's not effort, right? Because there's people like you and I, we're killing it. I love it. I love work. Yes. I love to be effective. I love to be efficient. Okay, efficiency is very important for me. I don't just like fucking working. I'm not just a slave, just here fucking busting rocks all day. No. I like to make impact. And if I can make impact, you can really make impact if you're efficient and if you're effective. So I love it. I love when there's people like this that are ready to go. They've got both efficiency and they're hardworking, but they're just not as organized as they should be.
And I think a lot of that also comes from, even if they are by nature a person who is organized, it's overwhelming to be working on your business and in your business. So trying to get organized in areas that maybe when you worked for a corporation, someone else handled that. You're now learning, you know, your craft, and that's why you're getting into business, but you don't know maybe, how do I set up the accounting? How am I going to do invoicing? Do I need a playbook for a team? There's so many unknowns that how do you start that on top of planning out your services? It's very overwhelming, and trying to organize the overwhelming feelings is a lot. I tell clients a lot that are starting a business, what I recommend is taking a stack of Post-its and writing down every single thing that you have to do in every area, like just brain dump. Because if you can get it out on paper, that's helpful. And on sticky notes, you can move those items around into buckets so that you're starting to understand what you need to do, so you can start to create those routines. What does your routine look like? When you go to work for 8 to 5, a company usually kind of tells you what you have to do. But when you have to define what you have to do, that's you literally saying, all right, I'm still going to wake up every single day as if I'm going into the office.
Mhm.
What is going to be my routine? What are the tasks I'm going to get done that week, or even within a day? That's a lot to take on in the beginning, and knowing where to start.
Yeah, because you're the CEO, you're the VP, you're sales, you're the web guy, you're marketing, right? You're the
janitor.
You're everything. Your cleanup crew. You're got to do everything, right? And it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but if you organize yourself properly, like what you just said, like get it all out, at least get all your tasks out, like so that they're not in here anymore, because they can get all jarring, they can get all confusing if you keep it up in here, unless you're just that efficient, man. Most of us, it doesn't work like that. Memory just, it ends up getting worse as you get older, and it's like, what? I even got to take my daily pills today.
I email myself all the time, and I tell people that I'll be at a meeting and
I text myself, dude. It's like, what?
Yes, I'll say, okay, I'm going to email myself that, because literally when I leave this meeting, I will forget it, because your brain, it's just like when you walk into a new room, or you walk into the kitchen or the bedroom and you think, okay, why did I come in here? It's not because you're getting old. I mean, yes, that is sometimes for people a thing, but scientifically, they've actually realized that doing that, you're changing environments. So your brain is naturally switching gears, and that happens in business. So it's important to capture those thoughts or those ideas somewhere, because you might be working on marketing or your services or your business structure. But the minute that the phone rings, or you walk into a new room, or you have a conversation with somebody, your brain's switching gears. And so you're naturally going to forget all those thoughts.
Yep.
It's just how we function.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. And I think when you need to get all of those, even we're going to talk two different scenarios, right? One is like the pre-founder. They're going to found their business or their organization, and they're going to get started. But you have to write down all of these, because look, an organization exists with all these different titles because they have to. Like, you have to have a CEO. You have to have someone making the decisions. Yes, exactly. She's like, that's me. Yeah,
that's me.
Right. She wishes she was. Yeah. You have to have someone in sales, because if you can't drive decisions without driving sales, because you got to sell something. Everyone's selling something.
Yeah.
Right. You got to build the thing or the service. You're going to have to market the thing or the service. Right. There's a lot of different things. And then how are you going to capture all that? Right. Daily priorities, weekly missions. Right. You got to make some boundaries around your deep work. Right? Or you don't have a system for capturing and delegating those tasks, even if it's to yourself, right? Because you can be CEO to yourself, right? Well, I do it all the time. Hey, Rex, don't forget, yes. Don't forget. Okay, like tomorrow, you've got to work on X, Y, and Z. That's literally me delegating to myself. Like, hey, and you can do that. So, as my best number 2 ever, not in the way that you're like in the hierarchy.
You are the shit.
I'm not the best number. Okay. Thank you for strengthening that up for me. I appreciate it. Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
I am my number 2 to me. So I am like, Rex, get it done tomorrow. Okay. I'm on it. Right on top of that, boss. And I get it done. But you got to do it. And just like what you said, either like get all the tasks down physically, get them in a fucking whatever, sticky note, notepad.
Yeah.
You've got to get these down. But if you're starting out prior, like I said, with these organizations, they all have like sales. What do I have to do in sales? Create some goals, make some target goals. And how are you going to figure that out? That's just like one title, one thing. You can go down that rabbit hole too, but you're going to have to organize it. And then you're going to have to fucking sprinkle in some work all across the board every week, every other week.
And I think there's, well, not that I think, I know there's this very good book called Buy Back Your Time. And the author, I think, is Dan something. Don't quote me on that. I can remember titles of books, but not authors. But the point of the book is, writing down where all your time is going. You might not understand that you're spending maybe 2 hours on going through emails or planning your schedule or meetings when maybe that's not the best use of your time. Understanding where your time's going and blocking out time for working on clients or doing certain services. Because at the end of the day, organizing your schedule, understanding where your time is going is also going to help you when things come up. Whereas if you work for a company and let's say you walk into the office and your boss says, hey, we're doing XYZ today, that's your boss telling you that. But when you're a solo entrepreneur, you're going to come in, machinery is going to break down that maybe you thought was only going to take you an hour. Now it's going to take you 5. Clients are going to call with emergency projects. So how do you handle that change? And being organized is going to help you manage those moments of pivot in a week, a day, or a month.
Yes, you have to be a CEO and you have to manage. You're the manager too. You got to manage your time, manage resources, manage your manpower yourself. I mean, if it's you have another person, that's great. But if it's just you, in most cases, it's like it's just you and I. Like I'm my own entity, and so are you. And by the way, that book is "Buy Back Your Time" by Dan Martell.
That Dan, I was right. Yes, Dan Martell.
Yeah, I'm a huge advocate for getting a resource. Look, even you know that you need to organize yourself. You may not know how, and you may not have the time to try and figure out how. So why not go out and get a resource? Read a book. There's YouTube. There's so many different resources out there that you can just do it. Just put some time aside to just, okay, I'm going to watch this video. And maybe there's an idea out there I haven't explored yet. Maybe there's something that I can actually benefit from, because if not, you were going to waste your time spinning wheels for months even. When I started out, it was the same. It was the same for me. I was like, okay. And where the focus goes, the energy flows, man. That is fucking fact. So, right. If I was concentrating a lot on marketing, a lot on digital marketing, a lot on, trying to make, shirts and swag and all that stuff. But my sales team, which is me, yes, it was falling off the edge, man. Taking cigarette breaks all day. They weren't doing shit. They're like, hey, man, you let us know when you want us to come in, all right? And
tell us like, what you want us to do.
Yeah, boss, I'm going to take another lunch break. And I'm like, go for it, man. Like fucking months. And then you'd have to knock on doors, but I wasn't, getting boots on the ground trying to sell this service. I was more concerned with the marketing part of it. So that's where you can make some huge mistakes, is we're putting too much energy on one thing. And it's the same. It's very easy. It's very easily explained. Like social media, you run your own social media too. Like certain weeks I can go heavy on YouTube, and then I would be like, I'm not going to post anything on, or not going to do anything for TikTok or whatever. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to see that. And that's a really good indicator to actually see where work goes, right? Oh, my videos are killing it. I'm getting a lot of feedback here, but then TikTok, there's nothing. And I'm like, okay, I got to work on TikTok. See, instead of being reactionary, then we can start making a schedule. You start making a schedule, putting it on a calendar, whatever kind of calendar. If you need a fucking physical calendar to go up and say, okay, Monday through Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm posting this. Use a social media calendar. Canva's got one. If you're already using Canva, it's already got one. If you're using CapCut or some of these other softwares, have these calendars built in already. So you just utilize that. And it could just be that you don't know it has it. Okay. I've been using it for a fucking year now. I didn't know that it had a calendar built in. I've been doing 4 extra steps that could have saved me like an hour every, let's just say 3 times a week, times 52. Stop it. Stop. I literally just wasted a month of my time because I didn't do any research. You got any feedback on that?
Yeah, yes, I do have thoughts.
Okay, because I could railroad this whole fucking thing, dude. I don't want to, though.
It's okay. 2 thoughts. One is, you could do all the things, but making a list of priorities. I tell clients in the beginning, don't try to do all the things. It's like, this is the new year, right? Let's use resolutions as an example. If you say, I want to start going to the gym, drink more water, quit smoking, start a company, like you want to do all these things, that's a lot to take on. Mm-hmm. Take it in steps. Let's start walking maybe once a week, or you want to start making your bed. Like start with a few things. If you try to take on everything at once, you're not going to set yourself up for success, because that's a lot to do and do it successfully. Because to your point, things need to be consistent. You can't be like an octopus spinning plates where you're over here working on this 1 minute and then over here another area. You need to do everything equally in order to be successful, The other part of that is I see a lot of companies, and this happens in big corporations too, where their teams internally often will work on the things that they want to work on that are fun to them, but is not necessarily what they should be working on. So if you are a product maker, you put all of your energy into making the product. That's very important. You have to do that. But there are other areas of the business that have to be worked on. I just said this to someone the other day where if something is scary or that you don't want to do it, chances are you have to do it. And within reason. We're not saying going out and doing shrooms or something. We're talking about maybe if I need to take that business leap and go after that business loan or fill out the grant paperwork or look for an accountant. Those aren't fun, exciting things to do within business, but they are absolutely incredibly necessary and you need to put the time into them. Otherwise, you're going to wake up one day and realize, okay, I have 500 bars of soap and all this amazing handmade lotion, but I have no website. I don't have an LLC. I don't have what is needed to actually sell my product. Was that a lot? I've had caffeine today.
Oh yeah. But we need a lot, Jess. We need a lot.
Yes.
Listen, this is why we ended the last season with why is your fucking business or organization so important to you? Because you have to define that. Once you define why something is important to you, then you define its worth. It's worth something to you. I have something that's worth something to me. I want to be able to utilize this for some income in the future to take care of myself, my family, my needs, my property, my whatever. I'm investing now for later, right? So that's what I'm trying to do right now. That's why it's so important, like what I'm doing right now. For me, that's important. For veterans, that's a whole nother reason why it's important, right? Because they need that. They need to be taken care of because they're not given a proper transition. So that's why I'm so passionate about that project that I'm working on. So that's why the things are important. If it's important, then you're going to do these little micro steps to help you along the way. We've got a tactical toolkit for you, okay? This is today's tool. It's the micro team operating rhythm. It's a simple framework, okay? It turns all that chaos into clarity. It's got 3 components, just 3, only 3. We're going to call it the daily 3, okay? So just remember the daily 3. Every morning, you're going to identify 3 highest impact tasks that move the mission forward. Move the mission forward. We can get so caught up in, just like you just said, there are things you want to do and there's things that you need to do. I can get caught up on fucking social media, dude.
Yes.
Right? I have to make a post on Facebook, whatever. Guess what? I'm still there. I'm like, oh God. I have to set timers for myself because I will go down rabbit holes, and not just for entertainment wise. I like to do research and study, like what's trending, what's popping, what's popular, right? What's good? What could I possibly, mirror or make better or add to utilize for myself? Because I don't have all the answers. There's people that have great things, and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty good. That is a great idea. Like, wow. Or maybe there's a collaboration there that's sitting there that I can probably connect with. So I use that time, but sometimes I overutilize that time and I get stuck going down that rabbit hole. And guess what? Everything else falls off. So now it's like, oh, freak. I didn't post over here and I didn't post over there. Let's just say this is like my social media hour or whatever. And I went an hour on Facebook. Now all the other social media stuff falls off the edge. And I'm like, I'll just do it tomorrow. And then guess what? When you say something like that, something always comes up tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Something always comes up when you plan something for the next day. So that's why we're going to do this. Every morning, identify 3 highest impact tasks that are going to move the mission forward. Okay. Not 10, not 20, 3, just 3.
Which 3 is easy to do.
It's a triad.
Yes.
Try. Well, okay. Yeah. I have a circle, but whatever. That's unity.
Unity.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2 is the weekly mission. Okay. Every Monday, define the one outcome that must be achieved by Friday. Okay. This becomes your North Star. This is your weekly mission. You have a weekly mission. What's your weekly mission? What's an example? Do you have an example for a weekly mission that you have to do?
Yes. Weekly mission is for me, social media. That is something that I have upped our game on, is posting consistently. But also your weekly mission for me, this is the way my company operates. It often changes based on client needs, information. We received some information about getting nonprofit tax exempt status for Sharkapalooza. So that then became the mission, to making sure that things and steps that have to be done are now done. So it's shifting things around to adapt for new information that comes in.
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
Adaptability in your mission.
Yeah. I've got a few, but most important weekly mission, and this doesn't seem like this would be on anybody's list, but that's why I am me, is to connect with one of my tribesmen, one of my people. I've got to connect. I got to maintain that connection, because that exactly is why having a tribe is so fucking important. It's got to be top of mind, just like we were talking about, like with fitness, just like with mental health, just like with your physical health, your spiritual health, all that. My tribe is just as important as my physical health. I want everyone in that tribe to be taken care of, and to see if they can also help with my stuff, like with me, not just my business, but with me, because that's why the tribe is there, so I can depend on them and they can depend on me. And it's just a real fucking a weekly call, and it could just be like you and I, because you're part of my tribe. You're in my tribe.
Ditto.
And it's like, hey, what are you up to this week? Not anything like this, not a recording, nothing that's gonna, this is different. This is work stuff. I'm talking about like personal stuff. Like we message each other. It's like, hey, how's it going? I've got a few other people in my tribe. I'm like, hey, what's going on? What are you working on? I want to hear about it. I want to hear how you're doing physically, mentally, spiritually, because you are my tribe. This is more important than friends.
Yeah. And I think that's a really crucial point, especially in a world where now more than ever people are working from home in isolated environments, that over time that can take a toll. It's incredibly important to have conversations with other human beings. Even if you are more of an introvert and you like that lifestyle, that's great, but we need human connection. And for me, I am a part of a networking group, so it forces me to leave the house. I mean, I would anyways, but it's very easy to get caught up in your business and work. But we do need to have that mental health of connecting with other human beings for that part of our brain.
Yeah, you need it. It is a part of life, and most of us have just been, we have been like, I guess what's the word, like getting by with just being ourselves, right? And just being by ourselves, and we're just like figuring it out, right? And I think that we need to get back that tribe, that community, because we can go so much further, so much stronger, so much better if we just include other people. And I'm not talking about friends. Like y'all are my tribesmen. Okay. Like I know I can depend on you if I asked you for something, and I want you to know that you could depend on me if you ask for something. That is more important than friends. Friends are just like, fuck you. I can't do it today. Fuck you, bitch. It's like, okay. All right, fine. You use your friends for other things, right? To continue your life story, maybe for whatever. So anyways, that's one of my, my weekly missions. What about the 90-minute deep work block? You want to go over that?
Yes, I do, because I think this one is very crucial. It's one that I work on often, is blocking out time in my schedule. It can be 90 minutes, it could be half a day, but time where you're literally, maybe your phone is on don't disturb, you're not checking email, you can literally just focus on your job at hand or the task at hand. Mm-hmm. For example, I don't have on my Calendarly the ability to schedule a meeting on Fridays, because Friday is that day that I've decided that I'm going to block off to just literally work and be at my desk. Yes, I take meetings on that day, but I am that person that I will constantly be checking my email. I will pick up the phone anytime that it rings, but it's okay to be on do not disturb. We are conditioned as employees to be at the beck and call of the business owner, our boss, coworkers. So when you are that micro team, that solo entrepreneur, it's absolutely crucial and okay. We are giving you permission to put your phone on do not disturb, close out your email. It will be there tomorrow. You're not a heart surgeon.
Right. You're not on call.
You're not listening to this podcast anyways. If you're a heart surgeon, probably.
Yeah, you're in heart surgery.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing important things. It's okay. And I had to learn that over the years, that it's okay to say no, right? Often saying no is just as important as saying yes, and closing out those emails and not having the bombardment, bamboozled.
Ayo, Bombay.
Of the noise. You need that quiet.
You need it to get that, because that's what it is. It's deep. It's deep. You got to go deep. Sometimes you got to go deep in that work. And if you need some real like analysis, you need to really research something. You're not going to get it with the TV on, the radio. So old. You're not going to get it with that AM station going on.
I was just going to say that AM jazz.
Jazz, baby.
Oh, that's more like techno.
Fuck it. Whatever. Jazz is the old techno.
Yes, the original techno.
The original techno. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you need that quiet time to get it done, because I've been there too. I have been there with you. I'm like, I need to get this done. Zing. Oh, hold on. Let me reply that. Okay. Where was I? You just set you back. It just set you back again and again and
Yes.
again. And you just never end up. Guess what? That really important thing you need to get some deep research on. You just blew it off because now you're into something else. You ran into another thing. We all know it. We've all been to appointments where the first fucking person was late. And then now you're going to be running late because they made everyone else late. Now, all the other tasks, like all the other appointments in line, are going to be late because that one thing was late.
Yes. And I also want to add to that for me, and I feel like this probably happens with other people, unless it's just a Jess thing, the amount of guilt that I held in the beginning, that if I did not take a phone call or respond to an email right away, the guilt I would have of I'm going to get in trouble or they're going to be upset with me. They're going to fire me. It's
Mhm.
okay. Often waiting and taking that break is needed, which we've talked about that before, like having a negative thing come in, not getting hot-headed, taking a pause, responding to things. But it also helps for clarity. You're going to be more successful in your business if your brain is clear and you're not rushing through things and that you have the time and can break out from the noise.
It's tough, but you know what? You knew that it was going to be tough when you got into it. You know, you've been at a regular. Everyone here has been to a job where they have to go in, clock in, clock out. There's a lot of different positions. Sometimes you did more than one position. Sometimes you did a bunch of positions, but now you have to do all the positions. And the only way you're going to be successful is if you plan it out, if you organize yourself, and you make sure that you hit all of those different categories of the different tasks that you have to do. Because if not, you're going to be heavy on one side and you're not going to get the most important things done, because it's easy to get down those rabbit holes. It's so easy to just blow things off because you're your own boss, right? So guess what the boss can do? I can take a vacation whenever I want. It's like, no, man, you got to get all this shit done first. So like Jess said in the beginning, write down all the tasks that you have to done. All of them you have to get done. All the different categories, the sales, the marketing, the CEO, the management, right? The resources, all that down, and then subcategorize that, all that. And then we can work on making some monthly, weekly, daily tasks, some of that real deep, that deep thinking research task.
Zoe's very involved in this episode.
Yeah, she is. I
I'm
love
so
her.
sorry.
She's great, dude. I can't wait to meet her. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, this isn't going to be easy, but it's going to be challenging. But if you're listening and if you want to continue this because it's important to you, you said it was important to you. And if it is important to you, then you're going to do what needs to be done. But you don't need to struggle, right? We don't need to stress and struggle. Things just need to be structured.
Yes.
Once they're structured, then we can work on them efficiently and effectively. This is how it's done.
And I think if you equate it to other difficult things that you've done in your life, if you've learned how to drive, your parents probably got you a beater car. At least I didn't get a brand new Mercedes or anything. My parents took care of the car, right? They were in charge of getting new tires, oil changes, and then eventually you get older, you get better at driving. You're then in charge of the car yourself. You decide where you're going to drive. When you're that entrepreneur, instead of being in the back seat yelling directions to the driver, you're now in charge of that car and where it goes. So you've clearly done that in life. If you've raised kids, if you've gone from high school to college, you've done hard things in the past, so you can do this. I just want to give that little positive. You got this.
You can do it. We all have the capacity to do it. And most of us burn out because we just feel like we're overwhelmed. And it's not that you're overwhelmed. You're just not properly categorized. You're not properly structured. You're not just properly having your shit in order, man. If you got it all in order, you have tasks like written out for you for the day. There are your orders, man. Those are your marching orders. It's time to deploy. No more like getting stressed over it. Take some time, restart. If your life is all out of whack right now, take some time today. Organize yourself into what's most, dude, prioritization, man. You said it on your resume. Everyone says it on their resume. Well, then it's time to fucking lean into that. You're a prioritization bitch. Get it done. Yeah, that's right.
Boss
Prioritize
bitch.
that
Priority bitch.
status. Earn that status, son. That's not just a hashtag. You gotta earn it.
Yes.
And how are you gonna earn it? Write it down. Literally, it could be as easy as just writing it down, putting it in a calendar, making a prioritization list, all your tasks, and then execute. It's not that hard. Okay. Remember, the next step is going to be the daily 3. If you're kind of already functioning as a solopreneur, then you just need a little bit of organization. Let's start off with the daily 3 tomorrow. Not next week, not when things calm down. We're going to start it tomorrow. Okay. This is it's worth it. Your business is worth it. You're worth it. Just get it down. Prioritize your life. And me and Jess are going to be here with you to help you execute the next mission.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.